Alors, bonjour tout le monde, bienvenue. Welcome to all of our 80 for 80 years. I'm Catherine Loubier, Quebec's Delegate General in New York. Thank you for joining us. And I also hope you're safe and sound in these difficult times. Let me first introduce our special guest today, the Minister of International Relations and La Francophonie, Madame Nadine Giraud. The Minister is spearheading international actions for Quebec by focusing on the economy, trade and investments, innovation and youth. Over her career, she's held several key positions in large organizations, including financial institutions, during which she was tasked with complex and demanding mandates, including to succeed with implementing change. Today, she'll explain how she also articulated change in the Quebec's international action abroad with a new vision that provides to be extremely productive. So thank you for being here, Minister. We are honored to have you. I also want to say welcome to Madame Sylvie Barcelot, the Ministry's Deputy Minister, and she'll be involved in some of our upcoming activities throughout the year. Welcome to our Associate Deputy Minister, Éric Marquis, and finally, welcome to precious members of our advisory committees. Lastly, I want to welcome the representatives from our universities who have been partners of this initiative. McGill University, Laval University, Université de Montréal, Concordia University. Thank you for your collaboration. We could not have done that without you. I'm glad that we were able to find and build this win-win project. A word on our agenda today. So immediately after my introduction, Minister Giraud will take the floor. We will also premiere our 80 for 80 motion video and present an honorary pin. We will welcome your comments and questions at the end. And to that end, I invite you to, right now, if you'd like, when the presentation will start, enter your question in the dialog box of the Zoom presentation. Let me now say a word on the initiative. It was launched to create more links between all of us. And we all share an attachment to Quebec and are active in this beautiful New York and Mid-Atlantic region. Our two regions are very intertwined and integrated, and as many of you have heard me say before, 70% of all our exports land in the US. But it's worth noting also that the US exports more to Canada than any other country in the world. So we achieve and build things together, and what hurts us hurts the US, and we also win together. And today, we're all 80s. It may be because you're a US citizen who graduated from a Quebec university, or it may be that you are a Canadian or a Quebecer who works here in the US. And also, some of you have recognized the importance of the US-Quebec relationship and are involved in a very special way. Whatever the reason, I thank you for joining. When the 80 for 80 project was launched in late 2019, I could not have imagined what's unfolding today. And due to COVID-19, while we adapt, we learn to act and work differently. There's one thing that's not changing is the relationship between us, the human relationship. And we can do more together because we know a little bit more of each other because of 80 for 80 years. We're more resilient together and we can better recover. I think now is not the time to turn on each other and be protectionist. In fact, we don't need protection from each other. And to support this statement, we have launched the North American Rebound with the Canadian American Business Council a week ago. Information will get to you in our next newsletter, and I'd be thrilled if you would join this initiative. I was just on a webinar with our Consul General in New York, Hawar Nassim, and a dear friend and ally who's with us today, North Country Chamber of Commerce CEO, Gary Douglas. So Gary is an 80, and I want to thank him for his immense and continued support. Even if the venue has changed, our goal today is the same, to recognize and honor all of our nominees created within this initiative. This network is extremely powerful and aims to mobilize everyone to ensure a more prosperous future. What does that mean? It means open doors for exports, present what Quebec has best to offer to investors, get clean hydropower to New York City, share our culture. We already have so many great stories of the work that you did, all of you, the 80s. Thanks to Benoit Larouche, our Director of Invest Quebec, and Sébastien Lantier in charge of trade. And you can see the names now of our close to 60, 80 for 80 years. And I'm amazed by the profile that you have in your careers. Frankly, I'm touched by the energy that you've put into this initiative. I want to thank Valérie Noël Letourneau for leading this project with energy and conviction. And I know that she has a roster of upcoming 80s to join our group. I was emailing with McGill graduate architect Michael Fieldman just a minute ago. He's built iconic buildings in New York. I was speaking with Eric Gertler a few days ago on our export project for hydroelectricity. Eric is from Montreal, and he's been appointed president and CEO of Empire State Development, basically our economy minister. It's amazing. And a few weeks ago, I was eating lunch with Mario Péloquin, COO of the MTA, 1.75 billion passengers annually. Another wow, I pick up the phone et il me répond en français. I could go on, but let me now turn to our special guest, who I could not be prouder to serve. She's a true leader of change, our Minister of International Relations and la Francophonie, Madame Nadine Giraud.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Loubier. Merci, Catherine, pour cette belle introduction. Merci également à Madame la sous-ministre des Relations internationales et à la francophonie, Sylvie Barcelo, à notre sous-ministre adjoint aux relations bilatérales, Éric Martin, aux membres des universités québécoises présentes aujourd'hui et à vous tous. Welcome, everybody. I would like to think a few words regarding, or say at least a few words regarding the recent events in the United States. Racial discrimination and exclusion will unfortunately remain daily realities. The death of George Floyd is a reminder for all governments that it is crucial and essential to pursue our actions to protect human rights with the aim to reach a real equality for all. Allow me now to go back to why we are all here together today. I would like to thank you all for attending this virtual meeting, considering the circumstances of the pandemic we are all facing. In times like these, it takes hardness and real leadership to carry on and pursue business at the international level. We must remain united to get through this. And I want you to know that Quebec stands united with the state of New York and the United States. From an economic perspective, it is important to emphasize that thanks to the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, NAFTA, the supply chains between our two nations have become integrated. And this proved to be a real asset in times of crisis like the one we are experiencing. Our economies must remain integrated closely. And it is by asserting ourselves together as an economic power that we will be competitive in the world economic stage. However, we must pay attention to the overall situation. It is a global economy that is in recession. According to the World Trade Organization, world merchandise trade is expected to decline from 13 to 32% in 2020, following COVID-19. The IMF states are stabilizing their national economies and putting policies in place to protect people. We are also experiencing a desynchronization of the deconfinement calendars between regions. Therefore, in the face of this new environment, the Quebec government's international action will be adjusted to be more agile, more efficient, and to prioritize the revival of our trade. This economic shift will support our recovery efforts and will be based on three important levers. First one, increase of exports. A strong economic strategy at the international level is the forefront of our Premier's priorities by increasing Quebec's exports internationally and doubling private investments in Quebec, but also to boost innovation, recruit labor and talent, and contribute to the fight against climate change from a sustainable economic perspective. If there's one thing the COVID-19 won't change, it's geography. Quebec and New York states share a border that allows annual trade of more than $10.5 billion. Besides contributing to the world's largest trading relationship, we are also friends, partners, allies who share a deep cultural heritage and strive for the same objective. On this 80th anniversary of Quebec's government office in New York, our trade also reaches a total of $80 billion, which represent, as Catherine said earlier, more than 70% of Quebec's export of goods abroad. We must continue to strengthen our alliances and allow our businesses to both sides of the border to prosper together. This privileged relationship must remain strong. I mention this because this mindset has never been more true today. As we face one of the biggest challenges of our times, a global pandemic, that has taken the lives of too many people, but that has also left our economies at a standstill, we must remain united. This crisis has sparked an outpouring of solidarity at the local level, the national level, and also at the international level. Whether it is by sharing scientific data to find a common cure for a vaccine, or exchanging on best practices to fight this disease, states are grasping the importance of working together to face a collective enemy. And I truly, truly believe that there is no reason why this should be exclusive to certain sectors, because we will all face economic turmoil in the months and years to come. Working together now, but also tomorrow, is therefore an integral part of our joint recovery. In fact, Governor Cuomo recently reiterated his interest to getting more clean energy to meet his ambitious environmental objectives. We would be happy to contribute bringing renewable energy to the Big Apple, as well as the entire region. The electricity is drawn from clean, renewable energy and provides both a stable and low-cost solution. Also, on July 1st, we can look forward to more good news with the entry in force of the new Canada-United States-Mexico agreement. Our second lever, Quebec brand. Quebec's international action aims to anchor itself in modernity. This means developing a Quebec brand that will showcase what we have to offer to international partners, create an institute of diplomacy for our diplomatic force, and establish what we truly call offices of the future that will serve as economic and cultural hubs for Quebec talent abroad. The Quebec Government Office in New York was inaugurated in 1940 at Rockefeller Plaza. From the beginning, this office played a key role in the economic development of Quebec. Over the years, the office has given Americans a better understanding of Quebec's society, economic pillars, cultural life, educational institution, and tourist attraction. Today, our New York office is the main representation of Quebec in the United States, as well as its oldest, and I'm not talking about the team there. It is also alongside Paris, one of the main poles of our international action. Our third lever, of course, are networks. But last but not least, Quebec's international action will rely more fully on its networks in order to make them powerful economic levers. This may sound familiar, as it is exactly what we have tried to do with the 80 for 80 Years initiative. This next network, which supports Quebec's economic advancement, was created to celebrate the 80th anniversary of official presence of Quebec in the United States. We hope, however, that it will stand the test of time and become a legacy of our new, modern, and innovative international action. Indeed, thanks to the New York's office network, strong of 80 years of hard work in the Big Apple, and to Quebec universities, who have greatly contributed to this project, and which I thank for their precious collaboration, Quebec is now able to count on its first institutionalized network of Quebecers and Quebec aficionados abroad. Thanks to your desire to give back to Quebec, we will be able to seize influential opportunities that will really serve Quebec companies and artists. Also, more globally, we will contribute to the Quebec-US partnership and friendship. You all are a crucial part of this joint recovery and of our common prosperity. Therefore, I will conclude by taking you once again. Thank you very much for accepting to be part of such a great project, and I'm delighted to welcome you personally to the 80 for 80s network. Finally, let me reiterate that our government is economic. I myself come from the business and financial world. I know what you experience as business owners and entrepreneurs. And we will work very hard, along with my colleagues and the Quebec team, to foster prosperity on both sides of the borders. I can confirm that I would have preferred by far to be in New York to celebrate with you all this important step for the 80 for 80s network. But rest assured, this is only a short-term postponement. Thank you all. Be safe. Merci à tous et surtout soyez prudents.
Merci beaucoup, Madame la Ministre. Merci. Je pense que vous avez parlé avec éloquence de la contribution des 80. Je vous en remercie et aussi de nous avoir donné les détails de votre politique, de votre vision internationale qui déjà porte ses fruits. As you rightly pointed out, Minister, and you've been very eloquent to our 80s. This relationship between Canada and the US is so important, and it's much more than a border, in fact. And I think we stuck together in good and bad times. And as you said, we'll remain friends and ally as we recover from the COVID-19 crisis. And now just to go for a little bit further on what you've mentioned in your comments, and this idea of being together since so long and for the future, I'd like us to take a look at the motion video that we've put together. And I want to thank the team at the ministry for the coordination of that video with one of our own Quebec local firm. And so, Olivier, please, can we watch the video together? So this video, thank you, Olivier. You know, it shows the hard work and commitment over the years. I'm lucky enough to be sitting in that seat today and take advantage of everything that was built before me. And it really highlights how important traders, entrepreneurs, innovators, artists, politicians, dreamers, all of those who contributed to build this unique relationship over the years, my predecessors as well in this office. And it's my great pleasure to present to you the 80 for 80 special honorary pin in the presence of our minister. And this pin represents, in fact, you know, the movement also from 1940, the lease that we signed, which you could see in the video, the first lease at Rockefeller Center, you know, taking the waves of time in good and in bad times, sticking together to find resolution, to recover, all the way to today. And I think that the movement of the pin is also looking toward the future of what we can do together. And so to each of you, 80 for 80s, we're honored to recognize your appointment as members of the 80 for 80 network. Your achievements are a source of pride. You expand Quebec's international influence and strengthen the special Quebec-US bond. And the sum of your actions will leave a legacy of common prosperity. Congratulations to all of you. Each member will receive his or her lapel pin by mail, although it would have been much enjoyable to have an official ceremony, as we've had with a few of you to talk to you about the 80 for 80 initiative in our office or at the residence, but we adapt. And since I assume that most of you are currently, as I, working remotely, please let Valérie know if you want to receive the pin at home or at your office. In the coming months, we intend to organize more webinars that will highlight different profiles and sectors you're active in. We'd love to hear your ideas and suggestions on that. And we also plan on having everyone together before the year end, if the environment allows, or at the start of 2021. And maybe we'll be lucky and be able to have our premier, François Legault, with us at that point. I cannot tell the future, but I can dream. So we'll see if that works out. And now I would like to invite the minister to answer a few of your questions. Of course, I'm available too if the minister prefers. I take some of the questions that you'll have for us. So we'll take a few minutes, and then our deputy minister, Madame Barcelot, will join us for le mot de la fin, as we say, to close the event. So I will, there is a few questions that came in. I will start with Michael Fieldman, who I mentioned earlier, who's an architect who built iconic buildings in New York. So he's asking, with regard to the climate issues, how does the advent of solar panels, windmills, and other technologies affect the future of Hydro-Québec? So Minister, let me know if you'd like to take this question.
Maybe because you know a lot about and you work a lot with Hydro-Québec, Catherine, I would like you to answer that question. Okay, for sure, there's a lot that we're doing about all kinds of energy sources, and the specific teams that are working also on that. But I will let Catherine give you maybe a little bit more details on that section.
Thank you, Minister. And you said it in your speech. You reminded everyone that Governor Cuomo came out very strongly in support of our hydro project, but we do much more under the leadership of the minister at the office. We also accompany wind companies like Boralex, solar companies that one of them does Canopy charging station for the city, ISON it's called. Another one is doing Add Energy charging station curbside. In fact, they're going to be the first curbside charging station in the city of New York. And Hydro-Québec has launched a specific initiative for solar very recently. So they are not only active in the hydropower field, but also solar. In fact, in Quebec, I think we have over 5,000 megawatts of wind. that can power our houses and provide energy for Quebec. So when Hydro-Quebec does a call for service in terms of the energy we're using in Quebec, they also complement their hydro energy with wind energy. So there's extensive projects of wind in Quebec. In fact, we were precursors, at the beginning of the 90s. We had this social debate about windmill a long time ago, and it's part of our energy, of our grid, and it's also part of the exports that we support for the future. So I hope this answers your question, Michael. Interesting topic. Another question that came in, 80 for 80 is such a great idea. Are you planning on maintaining the network beyond 2020?
Oh my God, for sure. 2020 for me is just the launch of the 80 for 80. So yes, for sure, we will definitely maintain this network. And I think that the work and the contribution of this network will just grow with the years, and the relationship that we will work on and really improve with all of you on this network. So definitely 2020 is just the launch of this whole network.
We also have some challenges right now to continue recruiting and getting together. So well into 2021, I think that we will continue to be together effectively, as you said. Just a couple comments that says that it's a wonderful initiative, that one of our participants says that she loves the Battery of the Northeast, and that's one of my favorite parts of the video as well. And then, you have many thanks for being here during COVID-19, taking the time to have something more upbeat and positive. Another important question, in your view, Minister, what will be the biggest post-COVID challenge for Quebec and New York?
Oh boy. I think one of the biggest one will be to make sure that, I know I talk a lot with Quebec companies also. I do lots of Chamber of Commerce, and I do lots of Chamber of Commerce also with the Chamber of Commerce of the United States also. And I would say that the biggest challenge will be to make sure that this fluidity with the commerce between our two countries, or the Quebec and the United States on the border, stays really, or comes back to the same level, I would say, that it was before COVID-19. I know that lots of protectionism is in the air, and we want really to make sure that our relationship with the United States, between United States and Quebec, is strengthened after COVID-19, and that we keep on building that business and keep on diversifying the commercial trades that we have between the two. That will be, I guess, the biggest challenge after COVID, because we already see that some type of protectionism is trying to be put in place, but at the same time, we also see that there's a lot of opening and a lot of will to really keep on doing lots of business and improving the business that we're doing between the two countries, between the two sides, basically.
No, I think, and this crisis has put into light the strengths of our relationship. I think I don't know how many phone calls you did with elected representatives at the border, the North Country Chamber with Gary Douglas, our dear friend. At the border, we ask ourselves, what are the consequences of the closure of the border? What's going to happen when it reopens? We're in touch with companies. We're grounded. And, it's almost like you could peel off the border and you'd have a very integrated economy that will have to recover together. So I think you're right. This will be a great challenge, but we have, that's why we're together today to find ways to face that big challenge.
And Gary Douglas gave me a really good sentence last time we spoke. He said, Quebec, they are in the Quebec business and we are in the United States business. So we're really linked together. It was very interesting to see the way it's thought.
That's right. And Gary is with us today. as an honorary 80 for 80. So we're really glad of his participation. And like I said, I was with him earlier today with the Consul General. So we keep looking at this from every angle to make sure that we move forward. One of the questions that I had also, maybe it would be, oh, here we go. We've got new, are you planning to institute thought leadership programs where the group can connect, share passions and experiences that can be turned towards economic, social, cultural issues? I think we will be speaking more and more and putting webinars together. It's not the last time we will be touching on this. Someone says, I missed the Montreal Jazz Festival this year. Can you talk to us about the effect of the COVID crisis on culture? And I know that your government has launched a big initiative to support the cultural sector.
Well, I can tell you that I'm going to miss the Montreal Jazz Festival as the way we know it also this year. There's going to be an awful lot of initiatives that are being built into the cultural sector this year. Of course, Quebec lives by the festivals. We have hundreds of them, and it's a big part also of our international tourism sector. So they're really linked together, and we are looking into different ways of doing some of the festivals basically, and making sure that the cultural level really stays up. We just announced a big project, a big amount, I would say, in all the cultural field this week, and we are looking into how we can help the cultural, whether it is the artists, the festivals, the theaters, to really either develop different initiatives, being creative, but also help them to reach their public basically in different ways. It's going to be a very difficult time, and the sectors, let's face it, the sectors that are the most affected are the cultural sectors and the tourism. But we are working very hard with them, with very close partnership, to make sure that we help them go through this phase.
Mm-hmm. No, and I mean, it's such a big footprint of artists and cultural activity in New York. It's amazing. Quebecers are everywhere, and I think it's the same for other regions of the U.S. So thank you for the support that you are giving those artists, and we'll certainly be ready to do the same in the different offices in the U.S. I think that I would leave it here with the question period. I think we covered a lot of angles today, and I want to thank you, Minister, for taking the time. I know you're extremely busy with managing everything that's going on, and on the side of the Quebec finance with your colleagues, on the health crisis that is unfolding everywhere, but it's certainly in Quebec, and in talks with your counterparts in the provinces and in the US. We truly appreciate this. And I hope that you will have I really hope you'll have an opportunity to be in a room with the 80 for 80, because I know them all personally, and they're amazing. And I thank them again for being here today. In closing, I'd like to ask our Deputy Minister to say a few words. And I really want to thank, again, the university partners. They've been great to work with, putting together lists of alumni who are here in the US that we could reach out to, that are doing great things out there. And so before we close this event and thank officially everyone, Madame Sylvie Barcelot will conclude the event.
Bonjour à tout le monde. Je remercie la ministre Nadine Giraud pour son intervention très, très à propos, puis aussi pour son soutien envers ce beau projet, et également Catherine Loubier qui a mis cette formidable idée au monde qui permet de célébrer concrètement avec un legs durable. Vous ne voyez pas ma pine, mais le travail historique que le Québec a réalisé continue d'effectuer aux États-Unis. I wish to thank Minister Giraud for having taken the time to stay with us today and for the support she has shown for this great project. I would also like to thank Catherine for this tremendous idea that enables to us to concretely celebrate the historic work that Quebec has done and continues to do in the United States. However, has it been said, the success achieved here with this 80 for 80 years project is the result of hard work and collaboration at all levels. All of you here today are playing a role in this collective project and are contributing to prosperity of Quebec in its success for businesses, its organizations, and its artists. I therefore thank all the network's members and want to stress that you are more than welcome in Quebec. And we hope that you will come and visit us when it's possible and it's safe to do so. Of course, you are the primary actors of this great initiative, but I must also highlight the important collaboration of our wonderful universities that I say hello to. They opened up their network of contacts and they gave us seeds to grow into discussions, exchanges, and tangible success stories. As Minister Giraud underscored, Quebec's new international vision will rely more than ever on our partners here in Quebec, but also abroad, to develop projects and share our ambitions on economic prosperity, innovative research, and multilateral cooperation. This goal lies on our understanding of today's global environment, and that is more complex than expected, and that requires now more than ever collaboration over competition. Because we may be tempted, especially in these times, to hide behind the borders, which we suspect to be impenetrable and hermetic. But this would be a mistake. In our globalized world, we are and remain stronger together. The work done by the Ministry of International Relations and La Francophonie shows that. And I wish you will be a part of this important work. Lastly, let me applaud to the work that has also been accomplished by my team here in Quebec City, and that in the government office in New York, Valérie Noël Letourneau, Liliane Côté, and Anne-Cécile Decamp. The work behind the scenes are a true symbol of teamwork and collaboration, regardless of the distance between them. The Ministry of International Relations and La Francophonie has a unique dimension to its work as it coordinates Quebec's action abroad and relies on the solid group of young, and maybe not so young, professionals who are located in Quebec City, but also in 18 different countries around the globe. This reality brings about some challenges, let me say that, but mostly shines a light on the motivation and passion that inhabits them. And I know for a fact that this project was a passionate one. And I do hope that it will be able to partake on other activities in the future, and who knows, maybe in person. I also hope that this initiative will set the example for other Quebec's offices that will follow in New York's footsteps. Because as they say, your limitation is only your imagination. Merci à tous. Et c'est avec un grand intérêt que je vais suivre, bien sûr, les prochaines rencontres et les prochains développements de ce réseau 80 pour 80 ans. Merci.
Merci. Thank you, Deputy Minister Barcelot, for this wonderful message and to all the teams that have contributed. I have to say, as I was listening to the Deputy Minister, a message appeared from the Philadelphia Orchestra Executive Director's Office, and Music Director Yannick Nézé-Séguin, our very own, are delighted to join in honoring this 80 for 80 initiative. They're saying, thank you for your continued partnership. So isn't technology wonderful? On this note, again, Minister Giraud, I know you have your pin. Mine couldn't get to the mail soon enough because of the action happening in New York, but it's a wonderful pin. I'm glad that you were able to wear it. And I thank you for your time today. Thank you, Deputy Minister Associate Eric Marquis, all the team that participated to this initiative, as well as the 80 for 80s that are online today. Thank you. This will conclude the event, and I wish you a wonderful end of week.
Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much, and congratulations, everybody.
Okay.